Right, hello everyone, welcome to the Ultimate Fighting Casuals. I'm Jack and...
I'm Tom.
And oh, that's weird. Oh my god. Okay, we're going to have to go with what we're actually, our real names, because that's not Tom as far as I'm aware, that's Morris. So if you catch me calling the wrong name, that's why. Yeah, basically we've created a YouTube channel to talk about fighting. It's the Ultimate Fighting Casuals. It's a bit obvious, right? UFC, that's sort of the bit the play on words. However, like, we're literally casuals. We're just like friends. We've got a little friend group. We all talk about fighting. We love watching the UFC, and we just want someone to share all that and just to put it out and create content. So this account isn't going to be major like analysts, like looking at things and reading loads of stats and numbers. We are just trying to have fun. We're just casuals. That's literally the point.
We don't know. There's no point bringing you something that we don't know. I think what we both want from this is it's put across from a casual point and it's easy to digest. It's not going to be something that you have to have a mad understanding of and but you can watch, put on and understand what you're going to be watching on the weekend.
Exactly. And I think that's almost like the joke with me is that like these guys might probably watch like UFC more than I do, and it's like the joke was that I always keep up to date with everything. I watch the highlights, I look back on cards, I watch fights, I know what's going on in the scene. I might not watch every card, watch every fight, but I know what's going on, and that's such like a casual thing. That's not like an avid fan. I always get taken the piss out of for not knowing certain things. We literally just love fighting, we love watching fighting, and we love everything to do with the UFC. We've really got off of like the gaming vibe and moved on to like the fighting side and sports and stuff a lot more recently.
100%.
So I thought, as I did YouTube videos back when we did gaming, why don't we actually now make a YouTube channel and do what we actually want to do, put the fighting videos out there. And that's what we've actually decided to do, which is great. So I'm Jack and I'm 20. I go to university studying film production. I do a lot of stuff outside of that, such as like photography. I play football. I've always been like into sports, and UFC specifically, like, I don't even know, maybe like watching it like hardcore or casually I guess, for like a year or like a year and a half, but I've known about it for a lot long before that. I actually knew kind of what Conor McGregor was in like 2015, 14, because my uncle's always been really into it, and obviously with the Mayweather fight that just like sort of kicked up my interest for it and I sort of got into that. But as of like today, I'm still a huge McGregor fan just because like of his whole aura and everything about him. I'll always root for McGregor, but I'd say like, honestly my favourite fighter right now has got to be Izzy. Like that might be so generic, but like literally all year round, I've just been going on about him so much. I think he is the top of the top. Like I love his, like, again, it's just that personality vibe I feel like I just fuck with so much.
100%.
So that's definitely who I'm going with. But my favourite weight class is like, it's got to be 170. It's literally so impossible to pick, but 170 is so good.
Yeah, I think 155 is like the classic, but I do think I agree with you. Like 170 at the moment, a bit stronger.
It's just so much fun to watch though. I just like the size of them as well. It's like almost such a great size. There's so much knockout potential still there. So much like jiu-jitsu power still there. I just love it. I literally love it.
Absolutely. No, it's cool. So I'm Tom. I'm 20 as well, and I work 9 to 5 in pretty basic telesales. I'm not gonna lie, but we've all got to earn our keep and make our money. That's how I keep.
This is the creative outlet side.
100%, 100%.
We do the boring shit and the 9 to 5, and then this is the fun stuff.
100%, and working in that environment, like speaking to a couple of people, like it is something that is followed, and I think that there is a need for the kind of show that we're doing. That is like a bite size, not bite size, but for casuals to be digested in that way.
This is a chat. This is just a random chat along video. This isn't like even the first episode of the Ultimate Fighting Casual. Like there are going to be sections to this. There's going to be parts to this. There's going to be different things we do. Things that happen this week. Things that happen that week. I want this to happen on like a weekly or bi-weekly basis. Hopefully weekly, and then if we have to move it, we have to move it. But I'd love to create like a little community here and like, you know, just keep doing the stuff that we know we want to do and we know we can do well.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and I think that there's definitely an outlet for that. Just to touch on a couple of my favourite fighters.
Oh yeah, we're so good at rounding.
Yeah, I know we are. Yeah,
100%.
We'll talk on end. We will just talk.
We'll talk forever. There's going to be so much editing.
That's it. So Darren Till, I've got to say, 100% is there's the English side of it obviously, but he's the boy. Dan Hooker is also like one of my favourite fighters.
I really like Dan Hooker.
Yeah, he's like quality personality, just like that
100%.
whole New Zealand Aussie thing. I kind of like. I really like. I like that. They're all very laid back. Like
you've always been into like them sort of things. I think it comes through rugby as well.
Yeah, it does.
Because like with me, like nothing like none of the sports I follow, Australia's not a thing. Like, rugby's it's massive, and then you've gone in from rugby to like UFC, and it's like there's loads of like New Zealand Aussie fighters, isn't there? So 100%. It's like, oh mate, I love Dan Hooker actually. He's such a
Shout out Tai Tuivasa as well, doing a showy of like knocking out Stefan Struve and then doing a shoey.
When he next wins, we'll do a shoey.
Oh, we have to, yeah.
When and like anyone from that region, anyone from the Oceanic region, we're doing shoeys for.
We're just gonna get drunk, mate.
I think we should actually we should bring the booze into some sections of the videos.
Yeah, certain sections, but very heavily edited.
The booze.
Yeah. So in terms of predictions for next year, I want to touch on a couple of the cards that are coming up. So there's the Holloway Calvin Kattar card coming up, and there's obviously the McGregor Poirier. Thank you very much.
How could you forget? I'm so buzzing for that
Poirier
fight.
too, and on that card as well is also Michael Chandler and Dan Hooker.
Going back to the Hooker card. For me, it's an easy. I know who's winning both those fights. Yeah, for me, it's easy. Who's going? It's not a decision. It's not a difficult decision for me to decide who's going to win. For me, Hooker, McGregor, with ease, both of them.
I don't think he deserves to walk into a title fight. I don't think
Neither do I. That's what I'm saying. I agree. I completely agree.
But yeah, I absolutely think that with a win like this, if he beats Poirier,
if he beats Poirier, gave G and him for the title.
I believe so.
That'd be banging, mate.
It would be banging. The only thing is with Charles, it depends what they want to do. Charles Oliveira is out there, who obviously looked incredible against Tony Ferguson.
Yeah, dude, he deserves a shout. He completely deserves a shout.
So we'll see, but I think that it'll either be the winner of the Hooker Chandler that gets him, or there's going to be something that goes on with it if Poirier loses. I think they'll book something.
It's going to be like a little tournament coming on here, I feel like. This is a little tournament, that's what I love, yeah. The 155 is great as well, isn't it? Yeah,
the 155 is fantastic. Like in terms of stand-up strikers and matches that you want to see, the kind of like what will sell the most, 155 for the UFC is absolutely 100%, the creme de la creme.
Coming on to our final subject of the video, our 2021 predictions. So, talking 155, the creme de la creme, what gets all the sales, where everyone is, the superstars. Who is going to hold that belt come this time next year? Or if there's maybe one card left, but I doubt there will be 2 days before the end of the year. So who this time next year is going to be holding? Let's just start 155. That's who I think. I think it will be McGregor. I do think McGregor is going to reclaim his title. I am convinced, and I'm going to accept it. If it's look, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I've got to go balls to the wall with it. I hate people that are 50-50. I'm balls to the wall. McGregor's going to be champion this time next year. And then he's retire.
I think that McGregor might get his hands on a title this year, but I think that he'll lose it to Charles Oliveira. I think that if the bookings end up right and they can make the fights that they want to make, Oliveira ends up champion.
If McGregor fights if logic is, if he beats Poirier, let's say he does, right? Say he beats Poirier, that's January, wins that. Let's say the next fight is then for the title. For McGregor, it has to be. He won't fight again if it's not.
No.
He won't. He won't fight 3 fights without a title fight. It's not going to happen, right? So it will be a title fight. Agreed?
I agree.
Let's say he wins that. Let's say it's Gaethje. So it's not Charles Oliveira, right? That's in June. There's still loads left in the year. There's still 6 months left. But will McGregor fight 3 times in a year?
That's the thing. That's what he wanted to do last year.
Yeah, but will he not have a belt and win that, win the title fight, and then risk losing it in 12 months?
Yeah, well, he's never defended a belt. I completely see what you mean.
Yeah.
I think that he will be a champion that never defends his belt.
Yeah, I agree.
I think that he is such an overwhelming force, and he is his natural style is so explosive, and it's that precision and power. I just don't think he's got the depth. I think somebody like Charles Oliveira's got more depth. I hope Tony Ferguson can come back. I think he is done. If not,
I hope, but I think he's done.
I think that Tony Ferguson gives him real problems. I think that
absolutely.
I just don't think that he necessarily has got the style, and now I don't think he's got the longevity to stay at the top of that division.
So you think Oliveira could take a belt off him at the end of next year?
Yeah, but I think one thing that could change that would be crowds, because a lot of chat before it was that when it comes to the big stage, the big kind of at 145, Oliveira couldn't get it done. He could never win that last fight to get into the title, and he couldn't get past that for himself. So when crowds do come back, there is no bigger fight in the UFC than McGregor for the lightweight belt.
Oh yeah.
No bigger fight in the UFC at all. So,
and I think, do you know what? That's where we could see maybe maybe he does get that fight, and then maybe McGregor does retain. Like maybe he does. I mean, these are obviously like this is getting way down the rabbit hole, but it's so fun to like look at. This is why it's such a fun thing to talk about. Like we're talking about like a Oliveira versus McGregor for his title defense of a belt that no one ever even close to winning yet.
Yeah.
That's mad, but it's so fun. Like that's exactly what this is about. Like building those sort of, would you say, like MMA math?
MMA math, yeah, it very much is. You sit down and chat it out. Like 145, obviously it's Volkanovski at the minute.
Yeah, I think it will stay
Ortega.
Volkanovski for me.
I think, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, there's doubt in your voice.
Yeah, there is.
Is that doubt, or is it like, okay, fair enough?
Obviously, there's the two Holloway fights. I thought he lost the last Holloway fight, so
that right. I don't know if he lost that fight, yeah, because I'm not convinced he lost it.
I think that's fair.
Because this is such like I can completely see both sides of the story, yeah. But I do still side with that. If you want to beat the champion, you have to best the champion.
Yeah. And then after that.
So Dillashaw 135 then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't watch much 135. I listen to everything for this guy, so. I'm gonna go with that as well. I'm gonna put it on the screen, so I'm gonna go with that as well. So man can't be wrong in it. Yeah. Right, what else have we got?
I think Usman keeps his belt.
I agree.
I also think Figueiredo does at 125. Obviously.
So for me at 185 next year, I think Izzy will still hold the belt. That's just to say that. I do think Izzy will still hold the 185 belt regardless of where he's actually at. I just think he'll keep it on him, and if he needs to come back and defend it, he will. But I think that honestly he'll fight Blachowicz and then Jones. I think that's Izzy's next year. I think next year's decided for Izzy, if you ask me.
Yeah.
But I still think he'll hold that belt. Unless obviously he has to vacate for some other weird, unpredictable reason. And then at light heavyweight, I personally think he'll hold that as well. So it's like, yeah, I put him both in. I think he'll beat Blachowicz if that does happen, and like I think he'll be double weight champ 100%.
Okay, that's interesting. I don't think that he will be defending both belts at the same time. I just think that there's...
I don't think he'll defend them, but I think he'll be champion of both come next year.
Yeah, I get that. But he will have to defend either one of those.
Well, I think what you said he'll do though. I think he'll vacate the 205.
I think he'll win it.
I'll fight Jones, and I'll maybe keep it for the Jones fight, and then like.
But I don't know if Jones can make 205.
No, exactly. Yeah, this is why it gets to, again. MMA math down the rabbit hole. I just agree with you with more the fact that I think he will be the champ on both of them next year, and I think he's just going to vacate the 205.
Yeah, I think the safe money is, as you say, is he at 185 still, and I think 205. If not him, I can't think who else. If that makes sense. If Jones is going a heavyweight and he has put
let's
that weight
say he
on,
does. Because look, we're going to have to go off him from the goal. Let's say Jones is going up. Who's 205 champ?
I think you've got to say that Izzy keeps hold of it. I think you can probably
keeps hold of it. What, do you reckon he'll?
If he gets it.
Yeah,
and I don't think that they'll necessarily make him defend it again.
Yeah, okay. So you think it's going to be more of that of a case rather than
they'll hold the division up.
Yeah. I agree. That's why I think he'll have both of them. That's what I'm saying.
The only fighter that has that makes sense is Glover, and he's past it, and they know that he's not going to defend it. He's not a cash cow for them, if you like. It's a bit like Romero. You saw him released. Why is he released? He's such a good fighter. Well, where does he go? He's kind of that middle ground, and I feel like Glover's the same.
I agree though. Where does Romero go? But that's a conversation. Yeah, we will get into that. I've got loads to say about Romero. We'll get into that. Actually, it could be a topic. Absolutely. But the last one is heavyweight.
I think heavyweight looks very, very interesting next.
I want to hear your prediction before I say mine for this one. I want to hear who you think's going to win.
So there's a lot of good fights at heavyweight. You've obviously got, looking at the whole top 5, you've got Overeem, in no particular order because I don't really know, but Curtis Blades, Overeem, Derek Lewis, you obviously got Jones in the mix, and of course Francis Ngannou, and obviously Stipe's the champion. So looking at all of those names in a hat, I think that who goes like John Jones' first fight in the division is going to be very interesting. Looking at it, probably with how long they're happy to leave him not fighting, he's probably just going to get the winner of Ngannou, Stipe. He's probably just going to fight straight for the belt. I think that's going to be Stipe. I don't think Ngannou's going to offer anything different for Stipe than he did in his first fight.
So you're saying that we're then sort of looking towards the end of the year, we're looking at potentially a Stipe Jones matchup for the belt, and that whoever wins that is going to end the year with a belt, aren't they?
Yeah.
Who's taking that fight? I've already got mine locked in, so I'm not copying Morris on this one. I've got my answer locked in.
See, it's very difficult, and I am not a believer in Jones as much anymore. So I think that's. I'm going to give it to Stipe.
Oh, we're going to have the same prediction for every single fucking weight division. This is not.
It's just great minds think alike.
This is actually what I think is so going to happen. I think Stipe is going to beat Jones.
Yeah.
I really, really do.
Yeah.
I really do. Like, I'm really convinced he's going to do it. Like, and I think it'll be a great, great fight.
Yeah.
I don't think Jones is easy. I don't think anything like that. But I think he'll best him, and then I think that's what will make the Jones-Izzy fight. I don't reckon we'll be that lucky to get it next year. We probably won't be. And if it's 2022 and Jones wants to come back off losing off of Stipe and Izzy's got a couple of belts, MMA math might be my favourite version of mathematics.
It is good. It is good. There's all sorts.
Stipe though.
I think, I can't see. Jones will either fight Izzy or Stipe next year. He won't fight obviously both. Like there's nearly £100 between the two. Well, no, but there's £50.
There's a lot.
There's £50 of good weight between the
two.
It'd
be a catch weight, won't it? Just in the middle somewhere.
So I think Jones Izzy will probably be at like 220 or something like that.
Do you reckon 220?
Yeah.
Izzy will be big boy.
Izzy won't go past 210 though. Izzy weighing light.
Yeah.
As he said, he doesn't. He's got no interest in putting on the muscle.
Good for him. Right, so we could literally talk forever. So we are going to wrap up the first episode up here. I think we've recorded like 30 minutes worth of content. We wanted this to be between 10 and 15 minutes. I've got a lot of editing on my hands. This is the start of something fun, and I literally cannot wait to continue. So yeah, thanks for watching if you have even watched the video, or if you come back in 2 years after we're on BT and you're looking at how the first video was.
How we started, mate.
This is how it is.
This is how it.
Just go and do it. Just go and do it yourself. Yeah, thanks for watching. We're going to do this every single week. This will probably be uploaded within the first week of January, and then it'll be a bit weird for like a week or so when there's nothing. We're going to figure a few things out, and then we'll be back after the first card on the 16th. Banging, mate?
Big up.
Sweet. Right, big up. Thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you soon.